Good morning and welcome to Judaism Today. We all at moments are overcome and overtaken by perhaps a moment of zeal, of zealotry. So we see something, it bothers us, it arouses our anger. How could this person do that? We're going to give it to them. We're going to say something. We're not going to let that pass. We're going to stand up for our rights. They just can't do that, and so on and so forth. We've all heard it before. This is an element of zealotry. Sometimes it's not in relationships. Sometimes it's in religion. We see someone, how could you possibly do that? This person doing something terrible. Can't let that happen. And zealotry is important. There's a time and a place for it. What's important to know about zealotry is that while zeal may be important and we may get our juices flowing when we sort of step up to the zealous plate, we have to remember that it's important to get it right. And that sometimes we can be zealous and stand up for something or, give someone a piece of our mind, but get it wrong. And that's a problem. You see, zealotry should not be mistaken for rashness. Listen to this incredible insight from Parshas Pinchas. We know the story with Pinchas. Pinchas sees Zimri and Cosby, these Jewish, these two people doing a terribly immoral act in full view of the public. And it's a desecration of God's name. And Pinchas goes ahead and arrests the situation. He kills them. He's lauded for this by the Torah. He's extolled for this as a correct act of zealotry. And you could go through the Torah and read the story as if he just saw this as an affront to God's name, and he got up and he took his spear and did what he had to do. And it was this righteous wrath and righteous rashness. But Rashi tells us something incredible. Pinchas asked a Shiloh. Pinchas consulted Moshe first. He wanted to know if he got the halacha right. So this is remarkable. We tend to think of zealotry and consultation as opposites. If you're zealous about something, if you want to give someone a piece of your mind, you're not going to go consult, well, is it the right thing to do? Rabbi, should I or should I not give this person a piece of my mind? No, there's an indignity, there's an injustice, we're going to stand up for our rights, we're going to tell it to them straight. But that's not what Pinchas does. Before Pinchas commits this act, this heroic act of zealotry, he asks Moshe, is this the right thing to do? You see, zealotry is important as long as we're getting it right. If we get it wrong, then zealotry is a sin. It's important to remember, in life all sorts of situations comes up. There are all sorts of challenges, there are all sorts of people we interact with, we find ourselves in all sorts of situations. And it is of the utmost importance that when we feel that zealotry is wanted, which sometimes it is, there is a time and place for that. To be sure, not always. It has to be very judicious. It has to be only as appropriate, more rare than common, used less often than not. But the fundamental point is make sure you get it right if you're going to be zealous. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Judaism Today. If you did, please make sure to follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or check into our podcast wherever podcasts are listened to. And we look forward to hearing from you more.